The idea was to work with PhD students from across the Arts and Humanities faculty to try and summarise some aspect of what they do in a photograph or a couple of photographs, and to try and use that to allow them to talk about their research and engage with the general public.
I was interested in incorporating more visual images and methodologies into biblical studies, and I was interested in widening my experience to do with public engagement.
Kind of like the idea of the challenge of it. Right? So my research is really abstract. There's nothing really tangible or visual about it in any kind of straightforward sense. So I thought it'd be really interesting, really challenging and fun to see if we could come up with an appropriate image for it.
Because mine brings together two very different things, coal mining and the Bible, it is always a challenge to get what I'm actually trying to do by bringing them together across to people. So yeah, that was quite an enjoyable part of the experience. I think it's good for disciplines as well to change the perception of what the discipline's about. Things like this are really important to get across to people what you actually do in a discipline, and it might not be what you think it is, it might be something completely different.
It was really nice to engage with someone who was interested in just trying to get to the heart of an important idea or an important bit of your research and convey it in a different way. Yeah, I mean, tough, but really interesting.
Yeah, I think Joe's was possibly the toughest of all of them.
I think the first time we met, I just talked to you for about half an hour about this stuff, just non-stop, everything Kant said on the spontaneity of reason. And then you just kind of went, yeah, it's really interesting. What about computers? And then if you think about non-conscious renderings of judgments or thoughts. And Andy had a friend who'd done a piece of work where he'd solved this with a weird kind of piece of software, and it was all automated. He was like, how cool would it be if we reproduced Kant's reference to spontaneity in this kind of non-spontaneous way? And then we could get the machine or the program or the software to reproduce it and take an image of that. What do you think? And I was like, yes, that's a great idea. Like, it really gets to the heart of something that's really important about my research.
It felt to me during the collaboration that people sort of became a bit clearer about what it is that they did want to say just through the process of the collaboration.
I work with a method called contextual Bible study, and basically I am reading the Bible with South Derbyshire coal miners to see how they interpret texts. So I was pushing there has to be the Bible in there, and came up with probably the worst cliched images for ideas of what we could do, like let's rub some coal on a Bible and things like this. And obviously to Andy's artistic eye they were rubbish, so he very much he didn't say this though, it was very nice, but he definitely provided much more direction, and we came up with the image that we did, which was taking the coal miners to reflect on a passage that they'd previously interpreted on a site that was no longer recognisable as a coal mine.
The solution in terms of TIFFs felt like a better solution than trying to shoehorn a Bible into an image. I think the nice thing about getting the cafeteria involved as well is it's a really difficult space to have an exhibition. The solution that they came up with, actually printing them and putting them on the glass in there, that's what made it work, really.
I mean, if we did this, it would have been awful.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it really would have been awful. You would have had a picture of some coal on a Bible. I would have had some sort of stupid picture of Kant juggling or something like that, and then we would have just put them up on big, terrible, printed out boards downstairs. It would have been a terrible exhibition. But having kind of Andy involved, and the workshops beforehand as well, kind of talking us through the basics of photography, or like you were saying, the basics of design and curating, the exhibition itself was amazing.